Good morning guys, welcome to Operation Crypto. Market update today, and I'll try to get a market update to you every single day this week. And we'll take a look at the crypto markets, but we'll also take a look at the global macro outlook, just to give a little bit of perspective, because as we do know, whenever we've got a strong dollar, the price of crypto is usually dropping through its ass, and we've had a really strong dollar pretty much since at least a year. We've had a strong dollar which has been rising up. With that, in turn, the S&P 500, the Nasdaq has been dropping quite significantly, and that's been pulling crypto down with it. So let's start off by that. We'll just take a quick look at the dollar, which I mentioned on previous videos. I mean, the last two market updates I've probably talked about. I said, look, it's coming to a level of resistance now. We actually peaked right above, and it's the highest we've been for a long time. I mean, last time the dollar was up there, you're talking 2002. So it's been on a really good rally. I mean, you could say from here, what month was that? Let's have a quick look. 20th of May 2021. So yeah, pretty much a year worth of up only. Since the bottom there, the price of the dollar has been significant, up 17 to 18%, which is a decent chunk. But like I say, we're coming to this level of resistance here. We're actually peaked right above, but we are starting to come down now, which is a bit of a positive sign. A couple of things on the news front. Biden had a few words last night, and he has mentioned that they're going to be easing some of the sanctions on China, and also they've been talking about a Pacific Asian trading agreement where around 13 countries have been added into this so far. So a couple of bullish things coming out, and they've had a positive reaction on the S&P 500, which was up around 1.3%, it's pulling back a little bit now. This is just for futures. And the Nasdaq, that was up around 1.5%, that's dropped down to around 1.2%. So as you can see on the right hand side of the crypto market, some assets are starting to turn green. I think we are due, well overdue, a little bit of market relief. Even in bearish periods, you do get relief, and you will get 1 to 3 to 4 weeks worth of relief, and we'll get some good bounces across the board, which need to really make sure you use as profit taking opportunities. But I think personally, my view of it is we now get between 1 to 4 weeks of rallies. Then pushing in towards maybe July, we start to see another downturn in the price, and we may come back down to test those 26, 27k regions, all the way up until around October, November. I mean, I think we'll really start to push on again, and that's just my thoughts. I mean, back in 2020, I said something similar in time frames, and you're better off working in blocks of at least 3 or 4 months, really, because whenever a market is in cycles, you usually get these bullish or bearish parts within them cycles as well. So I think that we are due a little bit of relief, and I'm expecting Bitcoin personally and the S&P 500 and Nasdaq to get a little bit of relief, because if you're looking at the Nasdaq there, we've had a significant drop with not much relief really. I mean, you're looking at the S&P 500, very similar. We've had quite a steep drop. We had a major push up. I think we'll get another relief and maybe come back up towards this 4,300 points level, but let's see what goes on there. So take a look at Bitcoin. As you can see, clear level of support, and you would expect to bounce here. I mean, looking at the past, all these wicks within this area, it's been a key battleground, and it's been a key area where bulls have always won. Going back to December 2020, bulls have always stayed in control of this area. That to me, on the 3-day candle there, looks like a capitalization wick, a straight wick down, and then a boom, a buying frenzy, which happened straight away. I think for any decent price action, we need to start getting back above these 2 wicks here. I mean, if you look at that wick there, that's an area we need to potentially get back above. So it was a support wick there and a rejection. So bullish price action, we need to get back above that region at around 32 to 34k. Once we flip that area, I think we can go on to target 41k, which I think there's a good chance over the next month, maybe. There's a good chance we'll start to see a rise. Depends how far we get. This will be a tough area to break. We'll probably reject first time, but next time I think we'll come up and maybe test the bottoms of these here. So you're looking at around, what's up at around 37k. 37k could be decent, maybe 41k, maybe a little bit of a stretch, but who knows. Once the market starts swinging up, it brings back a little bit of a positive feeling. It may bring retail buyers back a little bit, kind of pull them out of the caves, and they might start just thinking, right, I think there's a little bit of profit to be made here. I may start re-entering some of my positions. I can imagine personally, there's going to be a lot of people sidelined at the minute, waiting for the next rise of the next cycle to come. Whether that is a mini move, what starts in a couple of days' time when we're going for a month, some people may be interested in that. I think majority of people will be more interested in a full-blown bull cycle, which in reality, people will only start hearing about that, like your mates, your mum, your dad, when Bitcoin's up here, they'll think, right, oh, is it a good time to buy now? When in reality, no, down here would have been a great time to buy, and if we drop further down to this region, also would have been a great area to buy. It goes quite contrary against your beliefs, don't it? Because you only want to buy when the price is doing well. You never want to buy when the price is doing bad, which in reality, this is the best time to buy around here. I mean, look at that chart. You know what I mean? It just goes against everything you feel. You want to buy it when it's up here, and you don't want to buy it down here. But this is where the opportunity is made. And if you are watching this video and if you're still in crypto and you only joined recently underwater, this could be that opportunity to potentially start buying in. Remember, it can always go down, but what I say is an investment perspective, you can't always be above water. And I'm buying some assets now. I bought some assets, started buying about 3 weeks ago, and some of those instantly turning into red. But I think, well, RSR, this was where, but I'm actually up now because it's had such a good bit of price action recently. But I managed to buy it around 4.7 cent, I think it was, or sorry, 0.047. And it was somewhere down here. I instantly went underwater, and then the price has rebounded. And looking, if you zoom out, I think personally, on a fundamental perspective, this is very, very cheap, and it's got a lot of FUD, but it is building consistently, and I really believe in the team. If the price did continue to tank and come back down to this level, I would not be interested, because fundamentally wise, I still like the projects, and it's like I say, you've got to be underwater at some stage in investing if you're considering long-term buys. So that's my thoughts on the market really. I'm expecting Bitcoin to bounce up if we do get this relief across the US stock markets, and if the dollar just continues to drop. And those two levels I mentioned there, getting above 33k really is that first target that we need to consider. If we flip that to support, then we can go and start target around 37s, and we have got 41k's up there, which may be a stretch too far, but let's see. Maybe a couple of months of bulls, then around 3 or 4 months of bears, and then we'll swing back into hopefully the next major cycle pushing up towards the end of this year. But let's see how it all plays out. Just one thing to note before we do wrap this video up is the crypto fear and greed index, which, like I've said on the Bitcoin chart, if it's up the top, you don't want to buy it. If it's down the bottom, you do want to buy it, and vice versa. You can also use the crypto fear and greed index. Whenever this is in extreme fear, it's usually a great buying signal. Again, completely against your beliefs, because if you are fearful, you're thinking, well, is it dead? Is it ever going to come back? And it always does come back, and vice versa. Whenever you're in the green, extreme greed, it's usually a great time to sell. So if you ever want to check it out, just go on Google and type in crypto fear and greed index. But if you look at the link there, alternative.me/crypto/fear and greed index. But that is it. That's my thoughts on the market today. If we get any updates tomorrow, I'll make sure I update them. But these videos are going to be getting out between 7 and 9 o'clock Monday to Friday. So if it's something you like, slap that like button. Make sure you are subscribed, and I'll catch you next time.